Alright, this is a walkthrough essentially on an introduction to my new car. The name is Patrick, explanation being it is a hybrid vehicle, and as a result it runs on both petrol and is electric. So Patrick, as it is, and somewhat alliterative as well, is Patrick the Prius. So this is the shape of the car, very distinctive shape for a Prius as well, especially with the lift back. So it is still a mid-size sedan, but plenty of space at the back. You can see the rear windows a little bit more tinted compared to the front, but visibility is great from the inside. One thing that will be quite surprising to most people is actually a lot of space in the car itself. Let's just check out the boot. There we are. So, fair bit of space in the car itself, and there is actually additional space right here, right? And you can actually lift this part as well for some additional items that you can keep. And the spare tire itself is underneath this particular compartment. And the nice thing is, well, you've got this shade here which you can pull just in case you want to keep some of the things under the shade so that things are not going to get heated up, which in Singapore weather would be a good idea. This actually detaches completely. Let me just get that area right, so you can take this whole thing out and put it away somewhere else, and that will become necessary, of course, when you actually want to create more space. And have a look here. So what you can do is to just press this button here, and the seat folds down. Same thing, so it's in a 60-40 configuration, and you can fold the other seat down as well, and that does create a fair bit of space here. I was told that you can actually bring the sofa here completely if you wanted to. So as you can see in the back seat, we've got the armrest as well. Some of the more advanced versions of the Prius, this is a 2008 Prius, would actually have the cup holders and all that as well. In this case, we've got cup holders here, so we've got two cup holders here. Okay, seats are actually PVC. A lot of the other Priuses that I checked out had fabric seats, so they weren't looking too hot, especially after a fair bit of use. So 4 years old, this car, and still in very good shape. It is a black colored Prius, so I have to be careful about scratches and all that coming up. But the nice thing here is that this band, which is black color, then blends into the whole car and doesn't really look out of place. For the other Priuses, which are silver or white, then that black band actually stands out a little, and it can be a little bit complicated. Okay, now we come to the front of the car. We are talking about a completely digital display, as we talked about the fact that, but just keeping with the theme of compartment space, right? A fair bit of space in this compartment here. I've got water bottle, an umbrella, right? Tissue papers, and we've got two separate spaces for cup holders. I've got my deodorant put in here as well. One compartment here. Get my cash card and all that kind of stuff. Big compartment here, one up here as well, so I've got my stacks in there, so lots of space, and a sunglasses compartment up here. Lights are here, and one interesting thing is that they have a mirror here for both sides, but you've got a light that comes on as well, just in case you want to use it at night, I guess just before a party of some sort. Mirror's okay. You can probably see that the bar can be a little bit disconcerting if you're going to be looking at you know, the view at the back, but you get used to it. There's a wiper there as well that you can see, a rear view wiper. Alright, so let's turn it on. This key is actually down here. It's a smart key, goes into this slot, then after that you press the button, and then the engine is on.
At the venue, but the
just to get
failed. Also, there was some threatening messages in
their
website saying that they will kill
I'm just going to turn the radio off. Just so we can hear it. All right, air conditioning is coming on as well. So that's all the sound there is. Like, the car is actually ready to roll right now. I've got the emergency brake, which is, you know, right down here. It's engaged. Right, let's put it back there. The gear stick is here. Interesting thing is that if you put it into gear, like, okay, and put it into drive, it doesn't stay in drive. It actually goes back up to the standard position. You can put it in neutral, right? So I'm gonna put it in neutral, and that's in reverse, and you can actually hear the beep for the car, but it won't actually come down here. So you've got R, N, D, standard. B actually refers to the engine brake, which you're supposed to use when you're going downhill and you want to use the engine to brake the car instead of something like that. Yep. This is the monitor. So you've got the energy monitor here. I'll come back to that, but in the meantime, this is the climate button. Audio, it's currently off, as I spoke about, but if you switch it on, then it has a different FM channels and all that. Okay, CD here, 6 CDs discs that you can actually put in, and some of the more advanced versions have a jack for your auxiliary as well, but not in this one, unfortunately. You can adjust the display and back to the information. This is probably the most this is just to select the background color. I like the gray, so I'm just going to keep it at gray. Going back to the trip info, this is probably what's been really cool about this car and has really changed driving habits, because first of all, this shows you how the car is being powered, whether it's running on battery or it's running on the engine, and also if the battery is being charged, and also you can check out what your average is. So I've driven it for 631 kilometers and have received about 24.7 kilometers per liter. That's probably in the region of 57 miles per gallon, I think. Alright, and fairly new car. So when I bought this, about 52,000 odd kilometers on this car when I bought it, and I filled up on petrol straight away, and having driven about 600 kilometers halfway through the tank, so I'm guessing that each tank is going to give me about 1,200 kilometers or so, which is fairly good in this case. So that's basically what the car is. And one last thing we're going to look at, I think I'm just going to pop the hood so that I can see what's out there. I'm just going to turn off the car so we don't have the car running when we go outside. Let's go outside. Latches here. Alright, and so that's actually the battery, right? And the engine is here as well. 1.5 liter capacity. So quite powerful actually. I've been quite surprised by the amount of torque there is, considering the fact that it's a hybrid vehicle. And the battery was one of the, you know, points of concern, whether we would need to replace it after a while, but it's going to last fairly long, it seems, and based on the forum I've read online, it actually lasts for a fair bit as well. And I was also told that the replacement cost has gone down. It only costs about, say, 1,000 Singapore dollars to replace it. So yep. So that's Patrick, and that's my new car. So let me just turn the BBC down. So I'm driving the Prius now. It's very quiet. In fact, now that I've turned the air conditioning off, you can see the noise is coming a little bit from the engines when I rev it, as you can tell, and also from the acceleration, but otherwise very, very quiet ride, especially if I have a smooth track that way. The displays are all in the dashboard. As you can see, everything is digital, and to my left I've got the main heads-up display, which has all the information on engine power consumption, what particular power source the car is using. And the steering column, as you can see here, has all the key buttons that I might use. This is the volume button, up and down, the mode, which will then turn the radio on, and I can select between CDs, AM, FM, air conditioning. The button here is automatic, and once I press that, then everything is going to be running on automatic. The temperature control, and to the right, the vents as well as the circulation system. So fairly straightforward. We have the start stop button here, and yeah, it's a fairly enjoyable ride. If I'm trying to hyperglide, which is to pulse, with meaning that I will actually accelerate quickly to get to the desired speed, and then after that let go of my accelerator completely, and then just press down slightly on it just to run on battery power, then I can actually maintain the speed for a bit, but it will still drop based on inertia and friction. And was talking about holding steady at about 66 degrees Celsius. So we're now at a stop, and this is when you really notice how quiet everything is. Everything is just dead silent, and a bit unnerving. Used to think that the engine has died when I was actually in the States and I was driving around with this, but that's not the case at all. Bit of a blind spot, as you can see, if you're going to be looking to the left, and the fairly large frame can get in the way, but otherwise it's been okay. And when you look into the rear view mirror, you can see that the way the lift back is designed means that there will be some interference. There's a bar in the middle, but otherwise it hasn't really been an issue at all. If you do want to make detailed changes to the audio or to the climate, can be a little bit problematic, because you have to press the button here and then after that play around with it. But the understanding is that these are things you'll do when the car is parked, so that's not really going to be that much of an issue. Haven't really used the CD yet. I'm going to try that. This has been a little bit problematic. Oh, it's green, so I better move, but don't have the green arrow just yet. Anyway, so that is the drive in the Prius and how that feels like. All right.